We're going to dive into another heavy monetization topic today, and that's the topic of invalid traffic. This one causes a lot of mystery for a lot of creators, particularly when they get caught out by it, because YouTube's communication on what invalid traffic is very vague. But we're going to break it down if we can using YouTube's own words. A lot of times creators don't bother to dive into the documents. Sometimes they do, maybe don't understand them, but we're going to dive in today. As recently as a month ago, this article is dated April 11, 2023. So it's less than a month from when I'm recording this. And just as I'm recording this, I've put out my previous video, the one that's all about buying subscribers and views and things like that, and the email that I got from one such person trying to sell those to me. This sort of follows on from that by a sheer matter of coincidence, because this is one of the major causes of people losing their monetization on their YouTube channel. And it's not for the stuff that's in their content, it's for how people interact with their content. So let's dive in. There's two articles we're going to look at. One's this one that's been put together by Hewson, who I've quoted before. He puts together some interesting things from Team YouTube. He's one of the community managers. This is just basically a lot of it is a rewording and maybe a hashing out of this other article here on invalid traffic from your videos, which he even mentions. So we're going to break down and read through what Hewson has to say in this main article. It's called Breaking Down Invalid Traffic, What You Need to Know. He felt that it needed to be addressed because a lot of people are actually getting hit. I just watched a video not even an hour ago from Ludwig, who was talking about a creator called Hutch, who's been on the platform for a very long time. He's been demonetized because of invalid traffic. He also talked about somebody who's in his, whatever it is, clan or group or of creators that he's got on YouTube, I guess, who had a channel that over a year ago got done for invalid traffic, and they started a new channel and got blown up by Ludwig to get the ball rolling, and now that's been taken down by invalid traffic. So I have some theories, and these are things that we need to come out and get out in the open and discuss. So let's jump in, and as questions come up, we'll break them down a little bit further. Here we go. The heading, of course, is Breaking Down Invalid Traffic, What You Need to Know. Hi creators. Over the past few months, we've seen several creators reach out about adjustments to views and earnings due to invalid traffic, and more so, people who are now even getting demonetized totally because of it. So we hope this post can provide more details. Note, our efforts to detect and prevent invalid traffic are not new, but we wanted to take this opportunity to share more information. Information is power, so the more information we can get, the better choice we can make as creators, I suppose. And the most important question is, what is invalid traffic? Invalid traffic is any activity that doesn't come from a real user with genuine interest. Now, it's very broad. Let's break it down a bit more. It includes intentionally fraudulent ways to boost ad revenue, like generating traffic from automated clicking tools, and other types of abuse like telling people to watch or click through ads. It's something you don't want to do. Don't encourage your viewers to watch and or click on ads. Let them interact with YouTube naturally. Don't teach them that they need to do this to help the algorithm or to help you as a channel, because that is by definition a way that you could be driving invalid traffic to your own videos. The other reason is working with third parties that artificially boost views, or even friends running playlists of videos all day long. So some of the things that we all think about sort of as new creators, when we don't know what the rules are, and we sometimes go ahead and say, oh, I'll get my mum to watch all my videos and over and over and put them on a playlist, and they can play them through on autoplay just so I can get my watch time, so I can get monetized. Even that very thing, to try and game the system, is driving some of this invalid traffic. Third parties that artificially boost views. Did you see my last video? That sort of thing, buying views and subscribers. Not only will it get your channel terminated if you're found to be doing it directly, but if some party is driving traffic to your channel in an inorganic way, or if you're doing it yourself and in the process that's causing ad revenue to be generated, that's a bad thing for your channel. You want to steer clear of all that stuff. Our systems analyze traffic to your videos to determine whether it is valid or invalid, regardless of where or how the traffic originated. It is important that we quickly address invalid traffic to keep the platform working for creators advertisers, and viewers. By continuing to protect our advertising systems against invalid traffic, advertisers can continue to be confident in investing in the platform, which helps creators monetize the great content they produce. To learn more about invalid traffic, visit our help center, which is that other link here that I've got tabbed up here, invalid traffic on your videos. We're going to be touching on a section of that because this is basically repeating nearly everything in there. We're going to jump back in at the tail end to look at some of the ways that we can avoid invalid traffic. In some cases, you may find that your channel is affected by invalid traffic, even if you're not intentionally driving it. So this is important to know, is some of this is out of your control. So if you can do all the things that's in your control to avoid it, then there's still things that could be out of your control. But it means that you're not really the instigator or the abuser. You're unfortunately being penalized for being a victim. But also the advertisers are the victim because they're paying for ads that aren't genuine. This means that there are times when you may not be aware that activity you've received was the result of invalid traffic. While we work hard to prevent it, some types of invalid traffic can only be detected by our systems after it happens, which makes sense. And as a result, adjustments are made to views and earnings in analytics and AdSense. If you see these adjustments, it means that our invalid traffic defenses are working to protect the platform, even if you didn't necessarily generate or drive that traffic. So whether or not you're responsible for the invalid traffic, you're reaping the results of the invalid traffic. How do we address invalid traffic? Our systems continually analyze ad traffic to determine whether it's valid, and when invalid traffic is detected, advertisers aren't charged, or they're refunded where appropriate and possible. Since revenue isn't received for these views, there is no revenue for YouTube or creators to share. Because remember, ad revenue, YouTube get 45%, you get 55%. Not only you miss out on the ad revenue, but YouTube is also missing out on ad revenue, so they're not benefiting from invalid traffic either. Nobody wins with invalid traffic. The advertisers don't win, YouTube doesn't win, creators don't win. Everybody loses. It's a lose-lose-lose situation. If invalid traffic occurs on your channel, you might see a drop in views and earnings. You may see adjustments in your YouTube analytics to remove views and therefore earnings associated with invalid traffic. Fewer ads on your channel. We may temporarily limit ad serving until our systems determine the risk of invalid traffic is reduced, which may impact earnings even while views remain consistent. Adjustments in your AdSense account. If we detected associated earnings from invalid traffic after your payment has been calculated or paid, the amount is offset from your current or future AdSense balance. Delays in payment. Payments may be delayed by up to 90 days to allow sufficient time to investigate traffic and associated earnings on your channel. Earnings may be withheld, adjusted, and/or offset if they are determined to be invalid. While invalid traffic may be difficult to prevent, here are some tips to reduce the potential for your channels to be affected by invalid traffic. We are committed to detecting and preventing invalid traffic to make sure our systems work properly for creators, advertisers, and viewers across this platform. Broad outline of what invalid traffic is, and that it is something that is, as I mentioned before, a lose-lose-lose situation. The three parties involved, advertisers, creators, and YouTube themselves, don't profit from invalid traffic. So anybody who thinks that they might be helping you by driving some sort of invalid traffic to your channel, or deliberately sabotaging your channel by driving invalid traffic to your channel, I guess, if they're doing it maliciously, they're the winners. If they're not doing it maliciously but they're ignorant, then they're helping everybody be a loser, and they are the cause of these things. But let's look at some of those tips right now. Now, I've opened up a section. It's actually on the other article, but at the bottom, and it's titled Tips to Prevent Invalid Traffic. If invalid traffic occurs on your channel, check these tips for common ways to help you prevent it. Number 1, avoid partnering with untrusted parties for video creation and building your channel. That's pretty broad. For example, it is best to avoid services that claim to increase your views, likes, or subscriptions. Just like I talked about in the last video. You don't want to be buying subscribers or views, because not only can it lead to channel termination, but if it doesn't, And if it's like a small amount, then you'll monetize, and it's going to lead to you losing ad revenue. Anything that might be generated is lost, is taken away, it's adjusted out, it's gone. Even when third parties say they drive real traffic to your channel, it may be artificial, resulting in invalid traffic. So if you get any service that you see online that says we can drive X number of views to your channel in a certain amount of time, X number of subscribers to your channel in a certain amount of time, if you partake in those, then you're basically doing yourself a disservice. Now, invalid traffic can result in these reductions that we're talking about, but it can also result in, if it's egregious enough, it results in you being totally removed from the YouTube partner program, which is what we saw in the video that I mentioned earlier, the video by Ludwig regarding Hutch and one of his crew. That invalid traffic actually demonetized their channels. It is a form of demonetization, and it's very hard to argue against. It's probably one of the hardest things to prove that you didn't do what they said you're going to do, because it's their systems detecting it. It might be something that you're not doing yourself, unless you are the one buying views and subscribers. But think about this. It's possible that somebody could be doing it against you. So if you've ruffled feathers on YouTube or on social media, maybe there's a campaign to get you demonetized. This would be the ideal way for someone to do that. Stay alert and don't piss too many people off. Don't click ads on your videos, even if you think it might be okay to do so. Our systems recognize when creators click the ads on their own videos. If this behavior happens consistently over time, your account may be disabled to protect both advertisers and the creator ecosystem. So this is definitely one where they're saying that you're going to be removed from the partner program. So your account is disabled, which means your AdSense account. And if your AdSense account's disabled, if you no longer have an AdSense account, then you're removed from the YouTube partner program. Unless your AdSense account can be restored, then you can't get back into the YouTube partner program ever. Don't click on your own ads or put your own videos on repeat on your computers, under your account, under any situation. Okay, the number 3 one here. Never encourage anyone to click on your ads to help you earn more, even if it's for a good or charitable cause. All right, let's break this down a bit. I have seen comments in live streams. I have seen comments in videos, maybe moderating with other channels and comment moderation and different things like that. Comments on my videos, comments on other people's videos, where they actually acknowledge that they've clicked on the ad or watched an ad all the way through. Do not do that. As a creator, first of all, don't encourage people to do that. Don't tell them to do that on your videos. Don't tell them that clicking on ads or putting the video on repeat or anything like that helps you in the algorithm or helps you grow the channel, helps monetize the channel, any of that, because that is basically directly feeding into invalid traffic. And that is something you don't want to be doing. And for the people who aren't creators, that might just be viewers and want to support the best creators, please do not click on the ads. Do not interact with the ads in a way that you would not normally do it otherwise. As in, hey, I'm generally interested in what this ad's talking about. Do not watch it. If it's not something real exciting or beneficial to you, skip the ad, go onto the video, watch the video. Please don't click on the ads. Don't click on the ads. So they're the 3 main things. It says, learn more tips on preventing invalid traffic in our AdSense Help Center. This is something I haven't looked at yet, so I'm going to open that one up, because it is an AdSense related issue as much as it's a YouTube related issue. Because if it's on the ad side of things, with the clicking of the ads more so than the videos, then that's when it becomes invalid traffic on the ads. And AdSense do not like invalid traffic at all. They hate it. First, you've got to acknowledge that some things are out of your control. So if you're doing everything above board, which is great, keep doing everything above board. The second thing is, if it's somebody else doing something on your channel, you don't have a lot of control. All you can do is investigate the best you can. Even if you can communicate that to YouTube, everybody's losing out. Like, it's not genuine traffic anyway. The advertisers are getting refunded, so there's no money going to you, there's no money going to YouTube anyway. So I don't know what you can do, except for if you can prove that it is some third party that's trying to exploit you. I'm guessing that YouTube can help with that somehow. I'm not sure how, But hey, it doesn't hurt to ask. But if you can find evidence of that, then maybe you can at least get your channel from being demonetized, but they might still be throttling the service of ads just to make sure that you're still not getting all that invalid traffic coming your way. It is a hard one. I think this is the hardest one. If your channel's been demonetized because of invalid traffic, then I don't see a lot of success in major cases unless you've got somebody who can forensically look at your channel and look at your back end and figure out where the traffic's coming from. I don't know how you go about doing that. I don't know how much tools there are in YouTube's back end and the analytics to pick up on this, or even from other means using Google services. Somebody who's more versed in that might be able to talk to that. If you're one of those people, let me know in the comments below, because I'd be interested to hear from you on your thoughts of how people can go about investigating invalid traffic on their channels. I don't have a good way of doing it. So if you've been a victim of invalid traffic where you have genuinely not undertaken any of the things we talked about, and so from your point of view, you've tried to be above board with everything, then you're gonna maybe need somebody to forensically go through the traffic that is going towards your YouTube channel. It's not an easy thing, and I feel for people like Hutch and others who have been demonetized because of invalid traffic. I spoke to someone on Facebook even yesterday who was having the same issue, and I'm like, I really feel for you as a person and as a channel to be demonetized. I don't know how you're going to get your channel remonetized because of this issue. I don't have the answers. I wish I could have more answers for you, but hopefully this gives some clarity as to what invalid traffic is and why it's not YouTube is just, or AdSense and Google just being harsh on you. It's like, as I said, advertisers lose, creators lose, YouTube loses. There are no winners with invalid traffic. So if we can get together to sort it out, to stamp it out, then that's going to benefit all parties involved. If you didn't see the last video I made all about buying views and subscribers and the email that I got from one such person trying to sell me those services, you can check out this video right here. And in the meantime, this is Doug, and I'll catch you later.
Subscribe to Doug Hewson YT.